Yay, we are live. Hello, Patty. Welcome.
Thank you. It's
I
nice
am,
being with you today.
yeah, I'm so happy to have you on board. So, we are going to talk about this amazing challenge that you have that is titled Challenge Unleash Your Inner Power. And
Right.
that's so I love that title because so many of us are holding back our power, right?
We absolutely are because I think mostly we don't realize that we even have this power inside of us
Mhm.
because when it emerges, it's often, because we're doing something we're not even aware of
Yeah.
and we can't repeat it because we're not aware of what we did.
Yes.
And, but we all have this wonderful power inside of us that just comes to us from the universe, when
So,
we allow ourselves.
yeah. So tell us a little bit about you and what you do, and then we'll go straight on to the challenge.
Okay. So I do coaching, mostly business coaching and with businesses or entrepreneurs, because most of my clients want to increase their income. So I help them to double or triple their income in a year. And I got involved in this because um, my son, I'd always done personal development pretty much my entire adult life. And I got to the point where I was a little frustrated because I was in different multi-level businesses and, it just didn't seem to be working. I thought this, setting goals and all this, it doesn't work. And then my son manifested this full college scholarship, which I never believed he would get. He told me for 6 years I didn't need to worry about putting him through college because he was getting the scholarship. And I just kind of went along with it, trying to be positive and encouraging, but I never believed it. And even the college that he went to told him he could only expect one third to one half of tuition. And so when the envelope came and he got his award, he said to me before he opened it, wouldn't it be funny if I got a full scholarship? And I, of course, because I didn't believe it, I said, now remember, they only said a third to half because I didn't want him to feel like he had disappointed.
Mm.
I wanted him to be grateful for whatever he got. And so when he opened that envelope and we noticed, oh my gosh, this is a full scholarship,
Mhm.
it was like that's when it clicked. I knew he had done it. I didn't know how he did it. And
Right.
so I went on a journey to figure all that out so that I understood what he did so then I could help not only myself, but help multiples of others to understand the powers that we all have. And of course, he didn't know what he had done. He had no clue. And so, over the years, I keep explaining to him how he actually accomplished it.
Yeah. I think this is so fascinating because I think as parents, we tend to want to support our children, and
Mhm.
also we don't want them to be disappointed.
Right.
And then we kind of, instead of helping them as much as we should, we're kind of holding them to back, right? Because
Right.
it's kind of a generational pattern.
Mhm.
Like, don't get your high hopes up, don't go too big. Like, we want to keep you safe
Right. Right.
instead of going all in and really playing the game. So you went on a journey to learn all of this,
Yes. Mhm.
and that is what you teach today. So tell me about the challenge, because 5-day challenge, that's kind of short.
It is short. Yes. So, what I really want people to begin to understand is the powers they have inside of them. And that what I've noticed is there are three really important steps that people need to follow. Most of us don't think big enough. We don't believe. Like I didn't believe in him. We don't believe in ourselves, and so we set our goals so low that it's either easy to achieve or we don't believe we're going to achieve it, and so we don't really think big enough.
Yeah.
And so that's one thing I've noticed. The people who become very successful will think bigger. And then the other thing we have to realize is that the person we are today can accomplish what we've accomplished, but if we have that bigger goal, we have to become somebody different because
Mhm.
otherwise we'd already have it. So that's the other thing that the most people don't realize is something about them has to change in order to accomplish something bigger.
There
And
needs to be an identity shift, really.
exactly.
Mm.
Yes. And we have to become that person. And then we also have to be willing to take a risk and overcome our fears because that also stops us. We're afraid to do things because we think we can't. But here's what I've always believed. If you're given an idea of something you want, you also have everything inside of you to accomplish that goal. Problem is, we will have to make some shifts and changes, just like we just talked about. The person you are today is not the person that can accomplish that. And if you're willing to change things and to change, the steps and move forward with your life, then you can accomplish all kinds of things.
Exactly. I love this. So these 5 days, what's the promise once people take part in this challenge?
The promise is to be able to enable you to create that bigger goal, to start looking at what steps you need to do to change, and so that you can start moving forward. And we're going to have a couple Q&As
Mm.
throughout the week that people can ask questions and, really start to hone in on what it is that, they want to do. But a lot of it just starts with, unlocking some of the things are holding you back. So we are going to start unlocking. And sometimes that can be a little painful to realize that, someone maybe in your life has held you back or is holding you back. And, sometimes we have to, be able to accept that and deal with that, or just just the realization,
Yeah.
that sometimes it's us. We're
Yeah.
actually doing it to ourselves by the words we say. So how can we come up with that plan? So
Yeah.
I'm going to help you to, come up with a plan of action of what you can do and some
Mhm.
resources
Yeah.
that will help you.
Yeah. Because expanding or growing is uncomfortable. I call it growing pain.
Yes. Hmm.
It's
And
like,
it can be
ooh,
uncomfortable.
yes. And we need to allow that to be, and also the upside is so amazing, right?
Exactly. And, once you start to understand this information, like, you never go back. You never go
Yeah.
back to the way you were before.
Yeah.
You're always just moving forward. And I see that with my son, as I've explained things to him over the years, that, he tends to move forward in everything he does,
Yeah.
and it's in impacting his life.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So for everyone who is, and I won't use the word ready because I don't like when people say if you're ready for this, because we're
Mhm.
never really ready,
We're never
right?
ready.
You just have to jump into it.
Right.
But if you're done with sticking your toes in the water,
Mhm.
and if the sensation on the inside is, no, this is it, I need to jump, this is a brilliant place to start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause you're right, it will get you just thinking, and
Yeah.
that's what I do a lot with people. I like to help them to think, because 95% of what we do every day is habitual,
Mhm.
and we don't think, and we don't really realize we're not thinking, because what we think of is very surface thoughts,
Mhm.
but we really start to have to unlock and figure out who we really are, and most people never take the time to figure out who they are. And we spend more time planning a vacation than we do planning our life and what our life goals are. And we don't realize that we have within us the power to choose
Mhm.
the kind of life we lead.
Yeah.
And yet we so often, just allow the world to just shift us in, to whatever is happening.
Mhm. So, to those of you watching now who know that it is time to make that jump and start shifting the mindset, and stop doing the habitual thinking and start challenging yourself and find that power and then unleash it, join the 5 day challenge and see where you can go in only 5 days.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Because you will take care of them, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's really, one of the things I always talk about is when you have a bigger goal, it's a matter of getting on that vibration of that goal. And you can feel that shift physically when you're actually, moving.
Mm.
And, it was funny years ago, I had somebody tell me that now they were older and they said, I remember how much fun it was when he and his wife would talk about, their goals and aspirations.
Mm.
And, I kind of felt sorry for him because I'm thinking, it doesn't matter what your age, you should have goals and aspirations because there's always more for us to do.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Yeah.
there is, it's a feeling you get.
Mm-hmm. And also, I think it's kind of what keeps us vibrant and alive. It's that
Mhm.
forward motion and that forward thinking, because as long as we have that, there's no stagnation, right?
Right, right.
And energy needs to be moving.
Yes. Hmm.
Yeah.
And we have to
It's
remember everything's moving.
yeah.
Everything's vibrating at a very high rate of speed. We just can't see it.
Yeah.
And we are energy too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing,
You and I
Patricia.
connect, I'm
Yeah.
just so mind here.
Yeah, I love that. So this is also with the start of a new year. This is the perfect energy to get into, to get moving as soon as possible, to change
Yes.
the trajectory. Is that the word that we're moving
Yes.
in?
Yes.
Right?
Hmm.
To make something different, to create something different in
Right.
22 than what has been. And I think we all kind of feel that now. We kind of ache for that and long for that now, right?
Yes.
We want a
Hmm.
shift. We want something different. And this is a brilliant place to start. Any last words to the people watching?
I think just to remember that, as you said, 2022, and maybe you've set a New Year's goal or New Year's resolution. And right now, believe it or not, people will say, "Oh my gosh, the month's halfway over, and I haven't, moved towards it." That's very common, but you've got a whole year,
Yeah.
so let's get that shift moving, so that you become the person you need to be to
Mhm.
accomplish that goal.
Wonderful. So the link is in the comment in the chat section below. Click the link, join Patricia, and have 5 amazing days starting Monday.
Monday. Starts Monday.
Brilliant.
Mhm.
Love that. Thank you, Patricia, for sharing this.
Yes, thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, I love having you here.
Okay.